The last two ideas that we're going to be talking about in this section are union and intersection. So let's start off by checking out the symbols. For union, you use a symbol that looks like a U for union. And then for intersection, you take that same symbol and flip it upside down. So it's essentially an upside down U. Now that we have those then, on your handout, I've given you definitions for union and intersection. The definition for union, I've given it to you in words first, and then I've given you that same idea as a definition in terms of set builder notation. So go ahead and take a moment, read the two definitions on your handout. Now, as you look at those definitions, you're going to notice that I've given you a hint as to how I would think about both union and intersection. And that hint comes in the form of bolded words. So the word union, when you look at the definition there, you're going to notice that I bolded the word or. So I'm going to put that over to the side here. That's a connection that I always want you to think about whenever you're doing a union problem. A union is always asking you to find things that are in the first set or in the second set. Intersection, however, the English word that I would connect with that is the word and. And again, you'll notice that I bolded that in the definitions. So anytime you're trying to find the intersection of two sets, you're trying to find elements that are in both sets. They're in the first set and they're in the second set. So let's use those definitions to do example 4. I've given you two sets and I've told you the elements of both of those sets. Set A has the elements 1, 2, and 3. Set B has the elements 3, 4, and 5. So let's go ahead and check out A union B. A union B is a set. So to demonstrate that, I'll start by putting curly brackets. And then, remember once again, the word union is associated with the English word or. So I'm going to go through and talk about a whole bunch of different numbers and ask, will they be in A or in B? Because we're talking about a union here. So let's start off with the number 1. If the number 1 is in A or B, we're going to include that in the union. Well, let's check it out. The number 1 is hanging out right there. So since the number 1 is in A, the answer to is the element 1 in A or in B, the answer is yes. So we're going to go ahead and say 1 is sitting here. Well, let's keep doing that then. So is the number 2 in the set A or in the set B or in both? Well, yeah, it's sitting here in A. And because it's sitting in A, it has to be part of the union. Let's try the number 3. Is the number 3 in A or B or both? The answer in this case is both, so that's acceptable. We'll go ahead and include 3 as well. Is the number 4 in A or B or both? And the answer is yes, it's in B. And because it's in B, it's going to be in the union. And finally, is 5 in A or B or both? The answer is yes, so we'll include that as well. Now, I could continue and ask about other numbers, like 6. Is 6 in A or B? The answer is no. So 6 can't be in the union. 7 couldn't be, 8, 9, just keeps on going. None of the other numbers would be in A union B. So that means we're done with the set. So I'm going to go ahead and put a curly bracket at the end to demonstrate the fact that we're done with that. So now that we have that answer for A union B, let's check out his friend. A intersect B. Well, once again, A intersect B is a set. So I'll start by putting a curly bracket. And as we saw just a moment ago, intersection is associated with the English word and. So this time, I want to find numbers that are in set A and in set B. Well, okay, let's go ahead and try some. So the number 1. Is the number 1 in A and B? No, it's in A, but it's not in B. So I can't include 1 in the intersection. Let's try some more. Number 2. Is the number 2 in A and in B? No, so it's not going to be part of the intersection. Is the number 3 in A and B? Yes, so we need to include that in the intersection. Is the number 4 in A and B? No, it's in B, but it's not in A, so I can't include 4. Number 5, is it in A and B? It's in B, but it's not in A, so I can't include that one. 6, it's in neither place, so I can't include 6, I can't include 7. So at this point, we're done with our listing. So if we're done, we need to have a closing bracket, and there's our answer. A intersect B is the set that contains the element 3. At this point, you're ready to go ahead and check out the worksheet and the homeworks for 29.